Hey everyone, hope you had a great weekend. Thanks for joining me on December 19th. And as always, we are not financial advisors and everything you see on here is for educational purposes only. Alright, let's get started with Bitcoin. And a lot has happened since our last public update. I actually thought we were going to go sideways and then drop back down. Like I was still holding on to that bottom trend line. We actually did come back down to the area, but we went up first. And we've had this target for a long time. If you guys remember, we had a target of, go back, 18,200. We went all the way back up to that and knocked that out. So I shouldn't have betted against that. I know those always fail. And for some reason, I thought we were going to drop to the bottom trend line first before trying to go up. But our first initial call is still playing out where we would go sideways. Then we'll go up, come back down, go sideways, and then we drop. So this initial call is still overall in play. It just didn't play out like, and it's something I've mentioned before in my videos, like the pattern doesn't play out perfectly, but like overall that's what it does. We just went sideways for a very long time. This was actually a pretty boring week, and this actually might happen again. We might just go sideways for a little bit and then start to drop. Right now we are below the support area, so I can see us, drop back down to the bottom trend line, which is around 16,400, and then continue to go sideways, and then eventually drop back down. And we could drop all the way down to the bottom trend line, which is about 15,100. There's a lot of calls out there, and a lot of people are calling for like 10K, 10K, 10K. To be honest, I don't know if we'll crash that low. That's a huge drop. You know what I mean? You're talking about 37% on Bitcoin. Maybe 14K, maybe even 13, 10. I don't know. To be honest, like it doesn't. The drops are not that like dramatic. Maybe this one. I don't know. These drops are pretty big. I don't know if it's that big. This one maybe. Let's see. If I were to copy it, well, yeah, I guess if we have another dramatic drop like that, that would still fit. I still don't think we'll go to 10K. That's just too much. But we'll see. We'll have to wait to see how everything turns out. But for right now, everything's still going according to plan. We were just going sideways. We will have a big old pump dump. Now, one thing I did do is I did send out a signal alert. And we were at the very top of here. I did post on Discord and I did put the video out saying, you know what, this is where it could be a top. We were at strong reversal fib. We knocked out our second arrow target. This could have been a top. I mentioned how, this could be our little double top that it does. So, if I go back here, I had to reset these circles. Like this is where we could be at. Another circle, these circles that you're looking at now are, I'll make a big one. These points where like it tends to dump. Right, we're here where it starts to drop back down. We're here where it starts to drop back down. We're right here where it starts to drop back down. Same thing here. And now this is what I was referring to. Before we did this, where we kind of went sideways, had a nice push up, stayed up here for a little bit, and then dropped back down, went sideways and dumped. This is where we're at. Where we were at. We went all the way up, we dropped. Now we're going to go sideways and then drop a little bit. But this is what I mean. Like, I was waiting for these little double tops. And there's a video where I mentioned, like, we would have to, like, do these little... We would have to retest that top again. And that's where it got rejected. And that's just how... This is why I made... I posted. I was like, hey, look. This could be the top for those who are, who are wanting to get out because they don't want to ride the drop back down. This is where you would look into getting out because, like, for example, with XRP, it didn't go up like we wanted to, right? We were all hoping, like, if Bitcoin goes up, so would the alts, and then you want to get out there when it drops. But I mentioned the alts didn't benefit at all, so this is how like, it was kind of being manipulated. And we would want, go to the back button. So I mentioned, look, you want to have some sort of plan. Look at the previous bottoms. And have a exit plan. Like, look, if it breaks below the previous bottom, you would want to get out. So that way you don't write it down like it did here. Now, XRP is actually on a white fit. This is telling me it's going to go up temporarily and then dump back down. So XRP has to go below 33 cents. So our target, our second arrow target for 30 cents of XRP, it's gonna hit soon. And I mentioned, if it does that from where the previous price was, you're gonna save 17% instead of riding it down. Again, we wanted it to go up, but unfortunately it did go down. Did I do it for Shiba too? Shiba's actually right back in the same support. And that's because of the high. We'll touch upon that right now. But going back to BTC, hope everybody's for the people that wanted to get out. I hope you saw all the warnings. I even sent out an alert, everything. Hey, you know what? Hang on, because we're gonna have a big drop. And as you can see that it retraced all the way back down to 8%. And remember, anything above 5% is big on Bitcoin. So we dumped this and dumped, because then if you look at the alts have a big crash. So I said, to get out somewhere up here in the top, but I said, have a plan in case it holds. But after that, it completely dumped, and everybody dumped back down. You look at everybody's candles, everybody dumped. Shiba actually bounced back, but again, it had that news. But you look at everybody else, everybody dumped back down. So it's very good to pay attention to where if I send out that signal alert, it's important. Now, going on to the alt, well, actually the dollar, not too much. It's gone up. It's kind of holding that resistance, but it did bounce back up. I can actually see it continue to go back up. It should start making its way to the 110, and it'll be something like it'll go up, down, and go to that. So, like February, it should be at the top back up here. Obviously, it's not going to fall perfect, but that means that Bitcoin's going to continue to drop until like February. So that would continue to go sideways. So it might do something like this. It'll start to drop. Maybe I'll do I don't know if I'll do a second one. Maybe the 14, and then it'll go like that. Or it could just drag out forever and then start to drop, and then it comes back up like during like February. So those are scenarios that could happen. But looking at the alts, if we close where we're at now, XRP does signal that we have to temporarily go up and then drop back down. So it's most likely heading to its 30-cent target. H-bar came down, hit a strong reversal fib, came back up. I have to wait to see where we close today on a lot of these alts. Even Algo is kind of like on a Y fib. Algo at 18 cents, that's a steal. Even H-bar. Well, H-bar is actually holding at its 4 cents. XRP. So with Shiba, it actually dumped down pretty good. Now, the thing with Shiba is it had a nice little spike, but that's because somebody posted something about some countdown for Shiba. It had a nice 6% pump, but then dumped all the way back down. Now it's kind of going sideways. Technically, we closed on a strong reversal fib at 909. If we, this candle should technically stay weak like this and then give us a red candle tomorrow. Let's see. But other than that, everybody else, there's some coins that are on strong reversal fibs, but I want to see where we close today, just so I can get more information, because some of these did close reversal fibs already a while back. Like, say, for example, Ethereum came down, hit a strong reversal fib. Now it's heading back up. I need to see where we close on this, because we might actually drop back down. And remember, we had a target for 151. So we knew when we went up, when we were up here, I mentioned, look, we still have to come back down to, 1151 before we go up. And as you can see, we dumped down to that area. Everybody else kind of just going sideways. And again, right now the main focus is Bitcoin, because it's going to, make everybody follow. And for right now, it looks like it's just going to go, it should technically go sideways before dropping. Obviously, I don't think it's going to be that far. I think it might be somewhere around like the 26 before it falls. And the 26 is our yearly completion, where we switch from, a downward market. So we switch from like a downward market to a sideways market. And then we switch to an up market. And then a peak market, and we start heading back down. This is how the markets are. It's a downward market, sideways market, And sideways markets could be like, you know, up and then come back down. And it just goes up. And this is where it really goes up and then it comes back down. So the peak will be somewhere mid or early, no, like around mid 2023. You guys to be excited for 2023. I mean, 2025. Sorry, 2023. 2023 will still have a nice little pump. We're gonna make sure we take advantage of that, and not, you know, obviously I'm gonna ride through until this because I want that full year. And I just want to just kick back and relax. Hopefully I'll have the trading bot in, you know, ready in a couple days and stuff like that, so I don't have to worry about like having to trade all kinds of things. Let's see, but there should be a nice little push here, a little mini rally, then come back down, and then we start to really go on. So that's gonna be fun and exciting. It's gonna be, well, this was the boring part or the annoying part because it just kept going lower and it kept going lower and kept going lower. The odds of it dropping back down to your previous low are going to be low. So like, let's say we go up, right? Your coins are going to, like, if we come back down, it'll come back down, but not to where like your lowest low was, right? Once, like right now, technically, after we drop one more time, this will be your lowest low. It's not going to drop any lower than this. It'll always be a little higher. And then it'll just keep going up, keep going up, keep going up, keep going up. So this is why I'm telling a lot of people, like, you know what, right now is the best time to dollar cost average, because you're going to look back one day and say, damn, like, I wish I bought more. Like, why didn't I buy more? You know what I mean? But with that said, I think that's pretty much it for today. I have to wait to see how we close today. But again, you know, patterns playing out not exactly perfectly, but it's still doing what we mentioned, you know, since we were way back over here. We were going to go sideways, then have a nice little pump, come back down. We might have a little pump and then drop because it did that before. If we look back like here, because markets repeat themselves, and this is the same. This is the same thing right here. We'll take this off. This right here, and a drop. Well, we do this. If I repeat this from here. This was the same thing right here, these two areas where we go sideways, we go up, down, sideways, drop. Here we go sideways, up, down, we go sideways, up, and drop. And we knew this pattern was following, so we called it perfectly, except for this area here. We went up first, but then we dumped back down. And the good thing is we knew that we were going to drop back down, even though it went up. And we didn't, you know, we weren't in this big old drop. We stayed out. So same scenario is going to happen here, where we're going to go sideways and there might be a little pump. And remember, in that pump, like the alt didn't like have a big return. And not only that, the alter actually we're still down here. But we might have maybe a little pump up, get back into the, you know, the zone, and then drop back down. So just in case if it goes up, you know, we know like, oh, it's not going to pump no more. It's going to take off, you know. So we'll see how everything turns out, and I will see everybody on the Discord. All right, this is where I do my ads. So if you're already in my group, you guys don't have to watch this part. But if you're someone that's looking to get more information on the market and what's going on, I do have a paid Discord. If I click on the button right here for Ko-Fi, I have a few tiers. My first tier, market outlook videos. This gives you access to all the YouTube videos I do. I only post Mondays update, you know, to the public. I post Tuesday through Friday, which is private. Sometimes I do some on the weekends too, if like the market's going really crazy. Right now, market's been pretty chill, so I just been doing the basic Monday through Friday. From there, the next step up, we have Peace of Mind. And this one gives you the market update videos. It gives you Discord access and signal alerts. And the reason I call this Peace of Mind is because you do get access to all the information that's on the Discord and the market updates. So you can kind of see what's going on with the market. You won't be surprised. Like, oh my God, the market dumped today. Like, yeah, we kind of already saw that. You know, you'll see that in this group. Nobody here is FOMOing. Nobody's here shocked, surprised. You know, everyone's more calm, relaxed. You know, it's a good little community. We have a bunch of little options that we have here. We post news, what people are buying. We have group zooms, area for hidden gems, ways to do passive income. And this is where I post my daily market updates so everybody can see it. We have a little chat dedicated just for, you know, the cryptos. I do have signal alerts, so I do send out messages on the Signal app. I try to keep it away from like Discord and Telegram because everybody has those and they have a bunch of different rooms. I want to have an app separately that if you get a notification from this app, I mean, something big is happening in cryptos, so you get that you're not surprised, right? I've sent out a bunch of messages before, right before like big dumps have happened. So nobody was surprised. And that's why I call it the peace of mind. The next one up is Edge. And the reason I call it Edge is you get the same as, before, the market update videos, Discord access, signal alerts. But you also get, you can request charts and you have trading calls and you have 2 Zoom sessions with me. The Zoom sessions are actually really cool because we can go over, your portfolio, coins that you're interested. Some people just like to be able to vent. We are in a bull bear market. It's been tough, these last couple months. So there's a lot we can do with that. We do have some trade calls where I do post trades there. We have our own little trade little group where it has the actual trade calls and it has like the chat, so we can go over that. On top of that, we can even request charts. So we have a section over here where members can request certain coins. So let's say you go into another group and they're talking about this coin and it's pumped and you're hyped up and you want to jump into. I can go in there and review that coin to let you know, like, hey, you know what? It still has a lot of potential, or you know what? This looks like it's at the top. I wouldn't get in. And you'll be surprised how many times I've saved people from getting into coins that other people made them FOMO in just because they had a big pump. A lot of people think in a bear market, they think like it's going to still keep pumping and pumping and pumping like it is in a bull market. It doesn't. A lot of times, like, hey, look, this is pretty much done. One of my previous ones was with Atlas. We mentioned, hey, this could be a top. And we were around this area here where I mentioned like, oh, you know what? This is like technically where you want to get out. Oops, little magnets in its way. If I can fix it a little bit. Like this is where you would want to get out. Have a buy order at the top in case it breaks through the fib. So, you'll be kicked right back in and you take off with it. But since then, it's dropped about, 25%. This is technically where you would, want to buy back in. And now you just made 25% more. And that's like the beauty of like being able to request those charts. I have another tier, but that one's already full. And that one just gives you more Zoom sessions. Another thing I do offer, if we scroll back down, I do have a trading course that I have. I'm no longer doing the personal one just because I'm booked on a lot of, Zooms and other things. But I do have my video out right now. So let's say, we're going to go into a sideways market. So one of the ways you're going to make a lot of money now is to be able to trade. And even if you're a complete beginner, I go over, real big essentials that you really need to learn, because there's a lot of trade videos out there on YouTube that are free. There's a lot of videos out there to show you how to trade that are paid, and they go up to the thousands of dollars. And one thing I've noticed with a lot of these, they always miss out like little simple things, right? They just pretty much give you like the indicators, the setup, and here, go trade it. But there's a lot more to that, a lot more. So I have that course there if anyone's ever interested. And other than that, that's pretty much it. So I will see you guys in the Discord.